Hello and welcome to another one of my MikroTik tutorial videos. In this video we're going to look at SFQ queuing and how that can minimize buffer bloat and try to ensure that all users get a fairly equal experience. We're going to dive straight into the tutorials router and we're going to get going. Now first I'm just going to explain a little bit about what SFQ is and how it works. So normally when you create a queue and you jump in there, it will give you a default small, which if we go to our queue types, default small is a P FIFO. So that's packet based, first in, first out. So as an example, if you have two streams of packets coming in, the packet stream that hits first will be the first one in, so as per the FIFO logical queue, and then the second one won't actually go anywhere until that first one's out. Now what SFQ does is, as per the MikroTik explanation, is it round robins. So all the packets going in will get round robined, number 1, number 2, number 3, number 4, and it will just keep picking packets off the top until it gets to where it needs to be, or until all of your packets have gone through it. So it's a fantastic way round of effectively not doing quaz, but making sure everybody on your network gets an equal experience. This is quite useful if you have a lot of users pushing into one LAN and you don't have the time or the capability to packet inspect and pull out each individual packet type, or if you just want something quick and hard hitting to minimize buffer bloat on a busy LAN. So we're going to drop it straight onto our tutorials WAN interface, which is where you'll need to put it on. You will notice that on my router and what I'm about to show you, I'm going to put it on a bridge, but you don't really want to put it on the bridge. You want to put it on the interface, which has your public IP. So for those of you doing static IP or a DHCP client, that's going to be the Ether address or the Ether address, or anybody who's doing some kind of PPPoE client, or even if you're using some kind of LTTP, it's going to go onto that rather than going on the bridge, as per what I'm going to do, because effectively the bridge interface is the WAN interface for this router. So the first thing we would like to do is just create a simple queue, but we can't do that because we don't have a queue type as SFQ. If we click into queue types, well, actually that's wrong. We do. We have a hotspot default and we have a wireless default. Now these are default queues, we can't really change a lot of those, and it winds me up that there isn't a default SFQ. So we're going to create one. So we're just going to quickly hit add. I'm going to type in default SFQ. And we're going to drop that down to SFQ. Now the preterb and allotment bytes, that's all to do with the hashing policy. Unless you know what you're doing with those, just leave them as is. Hit apply, it's okay. You'll now see we have default SFQ. Great, let's create a simple queue. So we're going to add the simple queue. General, first one, I'm just going to call it WAN control, because that's what it's doing. Target interface, this is where I was talking about, it needs to be your target interface. So whether you PPPoE or whether you're on one of the Ether ports using it for static IP or DHCP client, etc., etc. For me, for this particular application, to be able to show you, I need to put it onto my bridge one management. Destination is a good one. I would always recommend hitting the zeros on this one, just so that the router knows its packets going through this WAN interface out to the internet. You don't necessarily have to do it, but it is certainly helpful. I'm not going to do it because it will actually stop my demonstration from showing you how it works. But do fill the destination in. Now you can limit if you want to, which I'm going to do at 5 meg and 5 meg. Now you will notice that sometimes if you put these figures in, they may not work. Most of the time these get flipped over backwards. So your upload is actually traffic coming from the router to the client rather than from the client to the internet. So there is a slight difference. So these do get kind of turned over. So just be aware of that. Now if we hit apply at that, it would apply a queue, but it would be the wrong type. We need to go into advanced, and we also need to change the queue types to SFQ on the upload, SFQ on the download, and then if both of those get full, then we need to go into the total amount of traffic and we need to SFQ that. And that's it. We're going to hit apply and hit OK. The queue is built. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to pull up the bandwidth test And I'm just going to disable that rule and hit start, just to show you that there is plenty of legs in this connection. It can definitely do more than 5 meg. There we go, look, we're wrapping up hundreds and so on and so forth. And then we're going to activate this queue, at which point straight away you can see it's pulled that queue right the way back down to 5 meg. And it's also gone red to show that that queue stream is now full, and we are losing a fair few packets. Not a lot of packets being queued. So there we go. It is literally that simple. That's how you do an SFQ. Like I say, there is a lot of information on the MikroTik wiki about queue types. It's all just here, and I will put that as a link down in the description of the video below. It's definitely worth reading into. This is very similar to what the Ubiquity guys run with regards of the FQ Codel. MikroTik themselves don't actually employ that, and it's not something which is going to be coming into the current RouterOS version, we're told. However, this is about as close as you're going to get to it without a full quas tree. However, this does work pretty decently, and if you are in a bit of a pinch, you can chuck it on quickly and not worry that anything's going to break. Okay, thank you very much for watching the video. If you do like the video, please leave a like on the buttons below. Please leave a comment if it helps you, and also please do check out my channel. I've got quite a few MikroTik tutorial videos racking up now, and some of them actually cover some quite interesting stuff. Thank you very much.